Good morning, Antelope Valley. This is George Mercado, and welcome to Your Home in AV, my podcast talking about real estate and the real estate transactions here in the Antelope Valley. We have Carlos. Carlos, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, George. How about yourself?
I am fantastic. Got to tell you, I'm feeling good today.
That's great. This is going to be a beautiful day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Starts out cold, but it's going to warm up. And my Dodgers won yesterday.
That's great, man.
So, do you have any updates for us today, Carlos?
Yes, I do. So, FHA is a 5.5 today, with 1 point paying for 1 point. The same for the VA. So, that's a great interest rate. You know, we haven't seen that for a while, so the interest rates are coming down. So, it's basically time to buy again. Conventional is at 6.125 with 1 point also. And the FICO score and conventional has to be at least 760. They also have the Dream, you know, and that one is going to be, they're trying to get more funds for at least another 20-something deals going on. So that one is like a lottery system that they had to go through it. But it's a good program because they help you with the down payment assistance, you know.
Right.
So that's pretty good. Another news, you know, market is changing a lot. We start seeing a lot of agents shipping to different places too. Some of the big companies are closing, you know, the doors. There was a big company, they closed in, I believe in San Fernando Valley, and Per Ranch, I think is the name of the street, the city. So we start seeing a lot of agents changing. So, you know, if you're thinking about moving, come to Energy. We're here for you. We help you. And we try to do the best we can to grow this company.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I do believe in energy. I do believe in energy.
Yes.
So you did say that right now is a perfect time to buy because the interest rates went down, but the home prices have yet to adjust to that. So if they buy now, they can get a cheaper price and a better interest rate if they have to jump on it fast, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. You know, that's the best time to do it right now. The properties are still not going up. They're still maintaining. And also, we start seeing a lot of sellers helping out with the closing costs. You know, a lot of stuff have been coming across my desk where it's $10,000 to $31,000 in closing costs. And some of the sellers are doing it, you know.
So that's even a better deal. It helps out the buyer and it maxes out the buyer's spending power.
Yes.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So today we have someone interesting today.
Yeah, right? We have somebody very, very interesting. So basically, we're going to have this guy. All week long, I was preparing myself because his name is Wayne. So Wayne, we're party time. Excellent.
So today we have from All Southland Home Inspections, we have Wayne Wolven. Welcome, Wayne.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes. And yay, the Dodgers won. Go blue.
It was a long game, 18 innings, but you know what? Freddie Freeman is a beast, and that guy, he just comes in the clutch all the time.
Oh, my God. I couldn't even believe that they even pitched to Ohtani in the 7th inning. Sorry. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, why are you even throwing him anywhere near the strike zone?
Well, he was, in the beginning, he was struggling at the bat, you know, and then once he got that one home run, it's like he's hitting again. So,
oh, yeah.
You know, he just had to break out a little slump he had, and he did, you know, and that's the Dodger magic right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wayne, you are a home inspector.
That is correct. We're a certified home inspection company, and we have multiple inspectors, including 3 that speak Spanish.
Awesome.
Because I find it very important that if your buyers speak Spanish, they have a Spanish inspector. They won't understand anything I say. So we bring somebody in there that can speak the language for them. But the report comes in English. That's the only way.
No, that's good because I find myself a lot of times having to translate for the customer. And, you know, it's easier if I could just order a home inspection and ask for a Spanish speaker so they could just talk straight up and I could just listen in the background.
Absolutely. Take yourself out of the middle of it, okay? Because if you say something the wrong way to them in your translation, it creates a problem later.
Which that's what I was going to say, you know. A lot of times people think it's easy to translate, But even at home, when I'm trying to talk to my wife, I'm like, how do you say that word? How do you say this? Or I said it incorrectly, so she gets upset or something. So this way I like it because that way they can ask the question directly to the inspector and instead to us.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
So, Wayne, tell us a little bit about something about Wayne.
Wayne. Well, I've been in home inspection for 15 years. Prior to that, I was actually a real estate agent up to the 2008 breakup. And so at the bottom of the market, I started this company because I knew that I could do it better than other people that were in the market. Okay. And I could offer different types of services and just change the business. So I don't consider myself a home inspector. I consider myself a business owner.
Great.
Awesome. Okay. All right. That's refreshing to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wayne, give us a little example of what. So, say I'm a handyman, and I'm looking to buy a house. And I'm pretty handy. I'm not getting paid to do it, but I'm pretty handy. Why should I get a home inspector?
Great question. I even have general contractors that use us who know way more than a handyman. And the real reason is we're going to look deeper. We're going to give you a printed report with pictures on it so that you can go to your hero, the real estate agent. I always call them Superman, Superwoman, because they're the ones that actually have to help you. So now they basically have all the ammo to fight for you. And as a GC, as a handyman, and you say you want this, they're saying you're a buyer, you're not an inspector. So just take yourself out of there and have the third party look at it.
Well, I don't like to be called Superman, but Batman, maybe I will take it, One of the things that I want to add to that, George, is I don't know if you know this, but if a buyer, there's a general contractor or a handyman does the inspection, most likely the home warranty will not cover that because they are not certified inspectors. So when the inspector does, like Wayne, those things, if everything went okay when he did his inspection, the home warranty will cover that. But if somebody else does it, that is not a certified inspection, they're not going to cover that.
What about asking for repairs? Would they need a home inspection to be able to ask for repairs from the seller?
You don't. You don't need to have a home inspection done to ask for repairs, but the owner of a house will respect more if it's coming directly for a home inspection that was done because they're more thrill than a regular buyer. A regular buyer, a lot of times the things this minor stuff should be fixed, and sometimes it's not. Most of the times what I tell my clients is everything that's hazard or dangerous, most likely the seller will fix. But if it's something that's cosmetic, most likely they're not. That's why it's great to have an inspection done, as Wayne, was talking about it, because they tell you exactly if they see something that's dangerous or it's a hazard that needs to be taken care of.
So what you're saying is the sellers are more inclined to do the repairs if the inspection is coming from a certified professional.
That's correct.
Awesome. So Wayne, I got another question for you. What are some key takeaways that you can give buyers for when they hire you?
Great question. Now I'll tell you that something that we do that other people don't do is we'll sit there and answer all their questions, all their concerns till they're comfortable for us to leave. Okay. So we want them to be in a comfortable position so they're not calling us later with their questions. So we'll sit there and ask them, you have more questions? Do you have more questions? What's your concern? And let me walk you through it. And I'm a son of a general contractor too. So I kind of know a little bit about it.
Okay. So what are some typical things that you find in a home inspection?
Well, typical. Well, I would say what I feel that clients care the most about: roofing, electrical, do their HVAC system works, which is heating and air conditioning. You don't want to buy a house in the AV without the AC working. I can guarantee that part. So I would say there's nothing typical that we find. There's a lot of little electrical stuff all in every house, even brand new houses. If you do a brand new house, you still need to do a home inspection.
Awesome. And I do see, you know what, on social media, I see like home inspectors all the time doing it on new homes, and they're finding new homes to be really, really bad. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I suggest that as well.
I'll tell you that when we do a new home inspection, we look a little harder and we'll probably write up more cosmetic stuff. Home inspection is not really about cosmetic stuff, but if it's a brand new house, I think, and you're dealing with a builder, that it's more important if the cosmetic comes from us too.
And like Wayne say, the most important thing is the roof, the AC, but also he forgot to mention the water heater, which those are the most expensive items. So as long as they inspect it and everything's working good, then you're good. But if not, then it's good for us to ask for the repairs of those items before the people move into their home.
Okay. So, another question. What is the most common issue in the AV?
The AV.
We got dry heat, it's gets really hot, gets really cold.
A bunch of realtors that don't know what they're doing.
Not saying that. Not saying that. Whether it's AV or somewhere else, okay, I think that when a buyer looks at a house, they're looking with their eyes wide open and not seeing the little things. So the home inspector can actually focus down onto the little things because we see that stuff all the time. There's no reason for us to get excited about it, okay? It's a matter of we see this stuff all the time. I think that really whatever a major concern will be, there's older homes here. They have Federal Pacifics and Zanesco panels, which insurance companies will eventually not write on it anymore. So those are important things for the houses here. We still have houses in Lancaster that only run 40 amp panels, okay? If you don't know what a 40 amp panel is, it's just an undersized panel for what we live in today. New codes are coming out at 400 amps on a new house.
Wow.
Okay. All right. That's good information. That's good information to know. So what advice would you give to buyers who are looking to buy?
Get on the same page with your realtor before we come. Make sure they understand, do you want a fixer up or do you just want to move in? And most realtors can get them there. It's not always the price. You can buy a cheap home and it's a fixer-upper and you're in a money pit forever and a day. But if that's not what you want, don't go make your offer on that. Make the offer on the house that you can see yourself living in.
So don't settle for what they think they could afford. Buy what you want and then make it work. Because your agent will help you make it work, right?
They actually will help you, okay? They really want to help you. They don't want me to go out with their client 2 or 3 times because they made offers on 2 or 3 properties. You guys know that's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork for a lender too, okay? So, try to get them in. And I know it's hard. I just did one in the late, we weren't up here, but we're down below. And you should have seen the look, first-time home buyer freaking out because we're telling them what's wrong with the house. And I had to explain to her, every house in this neighborhood have the same problem. They'll have the exact same problem. So I don't know where that went. I just think she probably looked at the wrong house for her.
Understood. So, us as a real estate agent, whenever I work with buyers and we get the home inspection, I kind of start steering them towards more, it's a honey-do list. So I tell them that we're going to focus on the safety portions for the seller to fix or repair. But a lot of the other little stuff may cause deals to go through or not, or to fall through, not complete. Would you give the same advice?
Yes, and we color code our reports. So if it's a major concern, it's color coded. So all you got to do is look through it. We got the bad color here. It says major concern. So now we got to decide if that's something that we can live with. Can we fix? Can we have fixed? And truth is that, yeah, electrical problems, safety issues, generally they'll work with you.
Yeah, typically I try to make sure that all the safety concerns are corrected and that they're happy with their home that they're in. And they're not, sometimes even with new homes, you're still going to have a little bit of maintenance you got to do. So that's what I advise them. It's more of a honey-do list because we're going to take care of the safety portion.
Yes.
Anything else, it's going to be more of a checklist for you to do while you're living in the home.
That's why it's very important, George. I always suggest my buyers to be there when they do the home inspection, because in that way they can ask questions. Because a lot of times, if they're not there, when they start reading the inspection report, they read it incorrectly, so they start freaking out. But if they're there with the inspector in that time, it makes it a lot easier because they can ask that question right in there, right in the spot, not later on. So I always tell my buyer, you need to be here. I'm gonna be here. You're gonna need to be here, and that way we can walk the house together with the inspector and ask as many questions as you have.
So the best practice is to have the buyer at the home inspection so they could ask any major concerns that they have right there and then, so they could decide whether or not they want to continue buying that home or not.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Wayne, do you have any parting advice for the audience?
As far as a home inspection goes, okay,
Yes.
find the house that you want, okay, that you're comfortable with. Explain it to your realtor so he shows you the correct houses for you, okay? If you want a fixer, I'm great with fixers, okay? I love fixers, okay? But that's me. I'm comfortable with, okay? Some people aren't. First-time home buyers, they freak out every time. So I would say from the realtor point is a realtor should really, really explain to them what a home inspection is before we get there. Don't follow your home inspector around. Let him do this job because he's going to sit down with you afterwards. We show the photos. We show the report to them right there on site. We do them on tablets. We don't handwrite anything anymore. Our photos are all there, and we can be there to ask questions. Please ask questions. Bring your doubting Charlie uncle with you or whoever. That's fine with me. Makes no difference to me. Okay? We've had it before, and we can deal with it.
So basically, you let the home inspector do his job. Don't go following around, standing over his shoulder. Usually what I like to do is I'll take my clients around the house as well so they can see. We could kind of start pointing stuff out and see if it comes out on the home inspection. And then at that time, at the end, they could ask the home inspector about any issues that they saw that when we were, viewing the home. Right?
That's right. That's the way it goes, So basically, these meetings are very important. I want to go really fast. As we have been going through this podcast, we start with the agent, then we move to the lender, then we move to the escrow, then we move to the title. Now we're the home inspection. The next one that's coming up in our podcast will be the termite people. So hopefully we can get a termite inspector in here to tell us. And right after that, we will get the appraisal, the one that's going to decide what the price is going to be.
That's awesome. So I'd like to thank you, Wayne, business owner from All Southland Home Inspections. Thank you for joining us today. Very informative. We appreciate everything. This is your home in the AV. Please like, share, and follow. We are going to be doing real estate transactions. This is your information for anything having to do real estate. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. We'll answer them in their next podcast. Thank you for joining.